Hi guys, it's Marine. Welcome back to my little English page. Today we have a live. I know it's usually on Thursday, but you know yesterday was a bank holiday, so I took the day off. Well, not really. I just took the day off being online. So today we're going to have a look at different meanings of the word like, how it's used, how to use it correctly, what you should or shouldn't be doing with that word as well. So hello everyone, I see we have a few people in the comment section. Sheriff, how are you? Lolly, Rafaela, Sean, free 99 English, I assume your name is Sean. Who else is here? We also have DJ Telerutube, Stroit Andreas is here. Jordan, hello, how are you guys? Nice to see you here. So as you can see, I've changed my hair color. I just decided I needed a change. It'd been a long time. It's been a while since I've had red hair, so I just did it. Mwah! Hi Sergi, how are you? Alright guys, so before we start, as you know, you could become a patron. Now what is a patron? It's basically you getting me a little cup of coffee. This is water. You know I usually drink coffee during the lives. Where you can get me that cup of coffee at www.coffee.com. Now this is a contribution that goes towards paying, for example, the software that I'm using right now, and as you know, and I say that every time, I need a new microphone. I've broken a bit of my tripod as well, so all of these contributions go toward making the content, whatever I produce, better. We already have 2 wonderful patrons this week, so you'll get the official shout out tomorrow, of course, but Sergi and Andreas with the S are our 2 patrons this week. You're still in time to be another patron this week, to be number 3. You know the shout out is tomorrow, so go ahead, give it a click, and it's also in the description below. Alright guys, so hello Omar. It's my aunt in the comment section. Hello. Yes, David, thank you for reminding me every time. One day I will remember, but thank you. Thanks guys. Thank you. I'm pretty happy with it too. Alright, so today we have a pretty big lesson ahead of us. It's probably not going to last a whole hour, but we're going to touch on how many? I think there's 11 things that I want to have a look at with you today related to the word like, okay? Hello Khalid, how are you? Nice to see you. Okay, so let's jump straight away into our first point today. So I've put everything out there so that you have time to have a look, guys, and also make sure to leave your own examples in the comment section, not in the chat section, which is there. Okay, so let's start. So first of all, the word like can be a synonym of enjoy, okay? To appreciate, to enjoy, to express things that you enjoy. Now, like can be followed by 2 different structures. The first one, as you can see, is ing. The second one, it is to. Now, there is a small difference. It's very, very small. If you don't really memorize the difference, it's not that big of a deal because the difference is so small, nobody really pays attention to that. But the difference is, with ing, you're actually focusing more on the experience itself, on the action. So for example, here I said, I love watching movie. So I enjoy the activity of watching movie, the experience that it is, okay? Now, the second option, followed by to, is a little bit more focused on the result. So here my example is, I love to make jam every year. In this case, it refers a bit more to some kind of habit, right? It is the result of it that every year I make jam. Okay, guys? Alright, so I'm going to give you a few seconds to leave your examples below, not in the comment section, not the chat, which is there. Go ahead, this is a fairly easy point, so just write a very quick example and we can move on to the next point. Okay. Jordan, yes, I am very loud indeed. Just turn down the volume. Thank you, Amar. I'm glad you like my accent. And Lolly, you feel like studying English. Okay, this is a different point that we'll have a look at later, okay? Alright, so go ahead, guys. Leave your examples down below. Any sentence that uses the word like, actually the verb like, as a way to express that you like that you enjoy or appreciate something. Now, if you are new, know that there is a slight delay between the moment you write a comment and the moment that I receive it. So if you're desperately writing messages and I'm not seeing them or reading them, it's normal. There's a slight delay, okay? I used love instead of like. Did I? If I did, yes, you're absolutely right. That's my mistake. I wasn't even paying attention. Let me change that right now. It was just to make sure you guys were paying attention. Of course. But indeed, that just shows that like is a synonym of love, okay? All right, so absolutely, you like watching movies, Andreas. And then, I like your hair. Now, be careful, Jordan Peterson. Hair, keep it singular in this case. When you're referring to all of this, you keep it singular, okay? All right, so let's move on to the second point today. So Sergi said, I like to memorize English words because it pushes. Pushes, I would maybe use boost, the word boost. It boosts my English skills, okay? Yeah, I said love as well. Sorry, guys. It just shows you how interchangeable they are, okay? So love, like, very, very similar. Okay, next one. Haha. We can use it to think, to say that we're thinking, okay, to think. So it's a filler word, okay? So when you're thinking, you don't really know what to say, it's a word that you're going to use. Now, it's very informal and you hear a lot of young people use that. For example, kids or teens will use like a lot in speech. Now, I've also given you two examples. If you're French, people might use the word genre instead. Let me try to think of an example. Non mais genre, mais trop, c'était trop intéressant, genre... It sounds weird to say that. It sounds like a teenager in French. And in Spanish, the equivalent would be en plan. En plan, el tío estaba en plan como no, y que en plan... I'm just saying random things, okay? But that's basically how French or Spanish people would say that. It's the equivalent of like as a filler in the conversation, okay? My example is, I thought you would want to like call the boss first, okay? Maybe boss is not the perfect example because this is quite informal, so you wouldn't necessarily use that in a business environment or at work. And like I said, it's more of a young person expression. I might use it once in a while. I probably do, but it's not something that I would encourage people to use. Okay, guys? Not this particular like. It's very, very informal, quite colloquial. And again, it will just make you sound very young. Okay? Good. All right. So David is saying, I'll try saying, I like you to my wife. Yeah, okay. Good point there. I'm not sure she'll really appreciate that. You're right. Okay. David say, kill them. Never keep saying like as a filler ever. I know, it doesn't sound very good. It really doesn't. Okay, alright, good. So there's no need for examples for this one, guys. Like I said, it's a filler. Don't use it. It's very informal, but be aware that it is, you know, something. And if you hear someone use it a lot, you can probably assume that they are quite young. Okay. Next one. Here we go. To report speech or thought. Now, this again is very informal, very colloquial, and probably something that younger people use as well. Okay, it's similar to he said that or she said that, but we're going to use a slightly different version. We're going to say he was like or she was like. So in my example, imagine I'm having a conversation, I'm explaining something to a friend, I'm reporting a conversation that I had with someone else. And he was like, no way, I'm not going. So I was like, yes way, and right now. Those examples are ridiculous. But they're pretty good examples, I think. So in both sentences, I'm saying he said and I said. I'm reporting sentences that have been said, but this is again a very informal, very colloquial way of using the word like. If you use he said, she said, he explained, he declared, those are much better ways of reporting some kind of speech than to say he was like, she was like, okay? All right, so let's see what some of you guys are saying. Sergi says, I never use like as a filler. I do not look like a teenager. Okay, good. I want to look like a respectable entrepreneur. Absolutely, very good. And then Sean is saying, I remember growing up in the 90s and all the kids used like as a filler. It was so annoying. Yes, absolutely. And you know, when you hear some kind of interview and somebody uses it a lot, once you notice it, that's the only thing you can hear, and it's quite annoying indeed. Absolutely. Okay, so can I say I'm like? Yeah, I'm like is the same. I was like is in the past because I'm reporting something that was said before. But it's true that you could probably do that in present. Let's think of an example. So do you know what? So this morning, Pete comes to me and he's like, what did you do? Again, this is a very bad example. Okay, but I used it in present in a similar way here. You can sometimes use the present as a way to report as well. Okay, good. So be careful, Sergi. They were like. Okay, if you use they, you have to use were. You still have to conjugate be. They were like, do you mind if we take your car? Yes. Let's say this lesson is like quite American. Yes, Sheriff. Good way of using it. Fantastic. But don't do it really, okay? Don't do it. And he was like, new for me. Thanks. Good. Now, my aunt is saying gagne toujours, which means always win. That's a thing my family and I go around. We just go gagne toujours toi. It's weird. Don't mind it. Okay. If they kept saying like in a job interview, yes, absolutely, no job. It's not good, okay? Good. Sergio was like, I don't like using like. And I was like, what? I do use it quite often. Sheriff, that's a good example. I like it. Very good, lovely one. Okay, guys, so before we move on to slide number 4, make sure you give the video a big thumbs up. Give it a like, give it a like. Give the video a thumbs up. Ha! Okay, let's go on to slide number 4. Here we go. So we can use it to reduce. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong one. Yes, it is to reduce, sorry. No, that's for uncertainty. I mixed it up here. Let me change that right now. Done. Okay. All right, to express uncertainty, okay? When you are unsure and you want to express the fact that you are unsure, it is also quite formal. It is a little bit similar to a filler. The structure is pretty much the same, but it will depend on the context for you to figure out whether it is just a filler or a way to express uncertainty, okay? Now, in this case, it's often used before numbers, quantity, or some amount of time in general. So my example here was, I'll be there at like 2 or 3. That's to say that it's going to be around that, but I'm not sure exactly when. And I'm letting you know that it's not going to be 3 or 2 on the dot. It's not. It's around that time. Okay? All right. So, you guys are just going with the like example. That's fantastic. That's another good one, Sergi. Good. Now, Sheriff, earlier I mentioned at the beginning of the lesson, the equivalent of like as a filler in French would be genre. And in Spanish, it would be en plan. Is a different type of filler. I think, Loli, it is a good filler. It's more to express what we're expressing right now, which is uncertainty. You'd go when you're thinking, which is also similar to in English. In French, the equivalent of like, I'm pretty sure it's genre, or style as well. You could maybe have style. Okay? Good. And then Andreas is saying like 3 p.m. at about 3 p.m. Yeah, exactly. Roughly, around. Good. Very good, guys. Okay, let's move on to number 5. Here it is. Like to express that approximately, kind of. So a little bit similar to what we said before. And again, no, I think I messed up here, guys. Yes, here, because I just reused the same slide, so I mixed up the definition. Here it is, similar to kind of, or about, around. Okay, that would be more appropriate here. It is again very informal, and because, like I said, it's very similar to the previous one, it is also going to be used before numbers, time, or some kind of quantity. Okay, so my example here is, I think it costs like 20 quid. Again, it means around, about, almost, okay, in that kind of meaning. Just so you know, quid is an informal way of saying pound. And fun fact, because I didn't know, I used to make a mistake with the word quid. I did, for quite a few years. But quid is not a word that is pluralized. Even though it says 20, you shouldn't say 20 quids. It's still 20 quid. Quid is a singular word. Okay. Sean, lol, our Prime Minister uses as a filler. I bet he does. Hey Charlene, nice to see you. Okay, Jordan Patterson. A filler is something used to fill empty space in conversation. So right now, for example, I don't know what to say. I could go, those are fillers, okay? They kind of complete the conversation when there's blanks. It's a way to, complete empty space in the conversation. Complete is not the right word here, but to fill would be the appropriate word, okay? Let's see. I estimate the value of the house at like 50 grand. Good. How much is that MacBook in Spain? It costs like 20 euros. Good. All the guests arrive at like 6 p.m. Okay. All right. So next one, guys. Let's move on to the next one. Slide number 6. Here we go. We can use it to express similarity or some kind of comparison, okay? It's used as a comparison with something else in order to describe that something. And it's usually followed by a noun. For example, his bedroom was like a war zone. Haha, okay? I am comparing it to a war zone. I am saying that it is similar, okay? Hi Halima, how are you? Nice to see you. We have another new person here, Nazakat Ali. Nice to see you too. Alright guys, so next slide. It is also used to express the same as for example. Now be careful, similar to what we said before, it's also going to be... I think I've messed up all of my definition and I forgot to change them, guys. So here I use the same one. Yeah. So this, we don't need it here. Okay. All right, so it's also followed by a noun or a noun phrase. A noun phrase is basically a group of words that work as a noun, okay? All of it together, they have not the same function, but they work similarly, okay? So in this case, like is followed by Zara and H&M, which are both nouns. I love shops like Zara and H&M. Okay, so this is similar to for example. So let's see if you guys can give me some examples as well. Yeah, like as a comparison, you think it's one of the most popular, and I would agree with you, Sergi, absolutely. Okay, so, let me just go back. I'm good, thank you, Nazakatali, thank you. And yes, Sheriff, you're right. Halima is like one of the best teachers and influencers. Very good example, Sheriff. Very, very good. Fantastic. All right, let's see if you can give me a few more examples with like to express the same as for example. I like shops, like, okay, it's Pull and Bear. Pull and Bear or Pull and Beer? I never remember. But it's definitely Pull with a P, Sheriff. But good example, very good. Can you give me any more examples, guys? Come on, I know you can do it. Give me another one. Let's do it. I'll drink more water while I wait for more examples. I like food like pizza and pizza. Okay, so just pizza for you, Lolly. Good. Now, guys, of course, I know you're doing that as a little joke, but just keep in mind that you want to avoid repeating the same word in a sentence. So I would change the first like here for both you, Sheriff and Lolly. So maybe I enjoy shops like Pull and Beer, or I appreciate food like pizza. It's not the best, but you do want to mix it up a bit. Otherwise, it just sounds like. Okay. Yes, Pull, exactly like that, Sheriff. Absolutely. Okay, so we're already on to slide number 8. Remember, we have 11 in total today, but I told you it wouldn't be a 1-hour lesson today. No. Okay, so number 8, here we go. To reinforce. Again, this is very informal, quite colloquial. I wrote it here in big pink, very informal, so I don't recommend that. And it is, again, pretty much the same structure as the other ones. Here, it could also be considered a filler, okay, just a filler. So the cake was like so good. I used like just before the actual description to reinforce it, okay? It's kind of like a way of emphasizing a little bit because it's making us do some kind of pause before we actually use the important element of description here, which is so good. Okay? So Sheriff, you actually wrote an example that works very well. She's like, quite fantastic. Good. Thank you, Halima. Stop it. You're going to make me blush. So, just one thing, be careful, Sheriff. You said, I like being in freezing places. You can't have a and places. A, remember, is a synonym of one. So, you can't be in one places. Okay? So, I like being in freezing places. Good. What is this, Marine? Yes, it's a change. I'm into sports like football. So, that's for the previous one. Absolutely. I prefer teachers like Marine, so that is also a way of showing an example. Okay, very good. Man City is like the most entertaining team in the world. Good, very good. Guardiola is like the smartest coach. Very good. I think Sheriff likes football. I think it's safe to say that, isn't it? Very good, guys. Okay, so slide number 9. Next one. To request something. Okay, so remember how earlier we said that like could be followed by either ing or to, and it doesn't really matter. The difference is so small. Okay, but things changed for this particular case because we've added we've added would. So because it is now would like, we must use to. If you use ing, it's incorrect. Absolutely incorrect. Okay? So here, like I said, it's used as would like. It must be followed by to or a noun. So, it is an alternative to the verb want. Oop, forgot my other little quotation mark here. And it's slightly more polite. So here are some examples. The first one is with a noun. Would you like some bread? Bread is a noun. Or I would like to join you. In this case, we have the to, basically an infinitive after would like. Okay, guys? So go ahead, write down your examples down below, okay? I've bought a cheap cheese on auction, and it was like, great. Do you mean cheap cheese or sheep cheese? That's like a tongue twister. Like a tongue twister. Good. My kitten is like so cute. Yes, kittens are cute. Kittens are cute. Okay, and I have to take my daughter to work. Okay, well, thank you so much, Sean, for joining us. It was lovely having you here. I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, I would like to go abroad. Fantastic. And that is basically the same as I want to go abroad. But again, remember, this is slightly more either formal, or it can also be more polite, more respectful. For example, children, we usually teach them not to say I want, but I would like, because it's more polite, okay? I want a dog for Christmas. No, I would like a dog for Christmas is a little bit better, okay? Hi, Hugo, nice to see you. It's okay, remember, better late than never. No, that's not the expression. The expression is better late than sorry. No, that's not the expression. I'm mixing up expressions, guys. It's better late than never, isn't it? Yes, it is. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, so would you like... Sheriff, what did I say? If you have would, you need to use to. So instead of would you like playing some board games, it should be would you like to play some board games? Would you like to play some board games? And then the answer would be sure, I'd like to play. You need to have to if you're using would and like together, okay? It's an obligation. You have to use it like that. I would like to visit my father-in-law, but he lives far away. Very good. I would like to speak English fluently. Very good. How would you like the chicken? Perfect. I like Sichuan fried chicken. I don't know what it is, but it sounds good. Chicken's always good, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, slide number 10. Almost the last one. There's one more after. Okay, to describe the characteristics of something. So we've seen one that was very, very similar earlier, okay? Now, I wanted to go over this one because it's quite common in questions. And specifically, I've been preparing some students to an exam called the APTIS exam. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but some of a part of the speaking exam is answering basic questions. And I've noticed this structure is very common, the what is something like, okay? And it can describe either personality, character, or traits. And of course, be has to be conjugated. Like, though, is not going to change at all. So here my examples are, I'm having trouble saying my S's today. What is the weather like? And here I'm asking the person to describe the weather, to give me the traits of the weather. What is it like? What does it look like? Okay. And I have another example, which is what is your brother like? So in this case, depending on context, I could be asking the person to describe him physically or mentally as well. So go ahead, guys, for this one. I am going to give you a bit of time because I would like you to leave some examples with this particular structure, okay? Another example could be you get home after a long day at work and your partner asks you, how was your day like? How was your day like? It's the same as how was your day? Describe your day. What did you do today? Okay? All right, let's have a look at some examples. I would like to buy bargains in the supermarkets. I would like to find maybe bargains. Okay, I would like to find bargains in the supermarket if there are any available. I'd like to get Starbucks sugarless coffee. Sounds good. Like Starbucks. I actually, for the first time, I bought some Starbucks capsules for the Nespresso machine. It's really nice. Very nice. Too expensive, though. This is just for special occasions. What was the trip like? Very good. How is your back has been like? So here, are you asking about the back, how the person's back is, right? So maybe I would say, how has your back been like? It sounds weird though, okay? How has it been like? But it does sound a bit odd. Try to give us another example, Jordan, okay? It was awesome. We went hiking and drank some tasty spirits. What was the trip like? You're answering to that. Okay, good. I would like to eat quails. Yummy indeed. What was your visit to the cinema like? Good. I just probably wouldn't use the verb visit here. Maybe I could say, sorry, it's a noun. What was your trip to the cinema like? How was your session at the cinema? What was it like? Okay. How was... Yeah, okay. How was the chocolate cake like? Good. How was your date like? Okay. It was like so... Okay, be careful. Moisture is a noun and you need the word... you need the adjective. So moist. Moist. And Sheriff, did you know that this is an absolutely hated word? Many, many people hate the word moist. They think it sounds very strange. So, little thing for you to know. Okay? Alright, so are we ready to move on to the last one for today? I think so. So the last one today, guys. You're quite familiar with it, okay? It is to describe appearances and it is look like, okay? Now, only look is described. Now, I do think it's important to mention that it also involves some kind of comparison. You are describing someone by comparing that person or those traits to another person or another person's traits, okay? So when I said, what does he look like? That's not the same as what is he like. When I say, what does he look like? I am only asking about the physical appearance. I'm asking for an actual physical description, okay? Now, if I say she looks like her mother, I'm saying that her appearance is similar to her mother's, okay? I'm pointing out the similarities to describe someone. Okay, guys? Good. So go ahead, leave your examples down below. I'll try to look for an alternative. Now, in this case, Sheriff, you would only use look for. Okay, I'll try to look for an alternative. Good. In Ukrainian supermarket, all bargains are noticeable like a thunder. Is that an Ukrainian expression? Noticeable like a thunder. I guess I see what it means because it's loud, so you hear it. But that does sound a little bit odd, Sergi. Good try though, but it is a little bit odd. Okay? Yes, Lolly, what does your mother look like? Absolutely, that's a very good example. Alright, come on guys, just a few more. Give me your examples. Let's go. Okay, any other examples? Come on, it's the last one. Make it count, guys. Make it count. Any last words, last examples? What does the new player look like? Very good, Sheriff. Great example. What does the new player look like? Fantastic. Okay, guys. Well, I think we've pretty much reached the end of today's lesson. I told you it was going to be a little bit quicker than other lessons, but it's still loads of content, loads of interesting things to learn, so I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Let's move on to the bye-bye slide. Where is it? It's right here. Alright guys, so remember you could become a patron by just getting me a little cup of coffee here at www.coffee.com. There is a link in the description below and that will give you a big shout out on Saturday, tomorrow, and one on Instagram throughout the week. Now, of course, remember that when you become a patron, you are helping me create better and more content, like using this software that I have to pay for every single month. Also my editor, my software, to edit. Again, I need a microphone. I've broken my tripod. There's loads of things that could always be improved. So If you want, just go have a little look. Now, of course, we have a live tomorrow as well. It's at 11 a.m. GMT +2, and we are going to do our weekly listening practice. I'm not telling you more about the teacher. I'm excited. I'm still waiting for a little something, but hopefully it's all going to be perfectly fine. She's a wonderful teacher. We haven't done any things together on YouTube yet, but we have done some things together on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, you probably know her anyways, guys. So that's about it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Now is your time to ask me any little question if you have any. So now I'm going to check the rest of the comment section. All right. Okay, so it's not, oh wait, we have more comments before. So be careful, Lolly. I look like my mother, not look like. Okay, you're not going to use it in continuous, or you don't need an auxiliary verb either to conjugate the verb. So I look like my mother. What does the long hair on you look like? So what does long hair on you look like? Unfortunately, Khalid, it doesn't look great because my hair is quite thin, very fine. So once it gets too long, it just goes a bit like moppy and not very pretty. So it needs to be short to have volume. Okay. What does Winston look like after going on a walk in the rain? He looks like a mess. Absolutely. He actually looks a bit ratty, like a little rat, because all his hair clings to his body. He's a weird, wet-looking dog for sure. Next time we take him to the wash or we go to lake, I'll just share some photos in my story on Instagram or on YouTube, and you'll see that he looks very funny when he's wet. Funny-looking dog. It's not a Ukrainian expression. I simply thought it was the good comparison. Yeah, it sounded a bit odd, Sergi. Jordan, I skipped your example. I'm sorry I missed it. Where is it? There's so many comments, it's difficult. How is your back has been like? No, it's the same problem. Because you have is and then you have has been. So you basically have two conjugated verbs. Okay, so how is your back like, or how has your back been like? But that sounds very odd, very strange. Okay, let's go back to the other ones. Thank you so much for the lesson. You're like the best mentor in Seville. Thank you so much, Sheriff. Okay, and Sheriff is writing a few names. We'll see. I'm not telling you though. What is the weather like in Spain? It's very hot, very, very hot. I don't think we're ever under 35 degrees. It's at least 35 degrees every day. And the past day or 2 days have been quite warm as well, particularly hot. You sound like great if you speak without shouting. Most YouTubers sound worse than you. Thank you. Yeah, but I do speak loud. I'm forcing myself to speak at a lower volume at the moment. And yes, I'm back on red, but this is not a permanent color. It will wash off in a few weeks. I like that. I can just change like that. You just want a good hairdresser. Okay. So Sergi, you like the rain and the cold. Okay. What did I see the first time? What did I think the first time I saw Winston? I knew straight away that he was my favorite. There were four dogs in total, and also he was the only male dog. And I've had a male dog before, and I just really liked the connection that we had. So I was already, looking for a male more than for a female dog. We hesitated with Aaron because there was another little dog that he really liked. But Winston was just funny. He was in his little corner playing on his own with his curly little hair, and he was just so cute. I just fell in love with him the moment I saw him. Thank you so much, Hugo, for joining us. I appreciate you joining us every time. What are the black stripes on your shoulders, Marine? This is part of, I'm wearing dungarees. So it's a type of clothing where you can just So you have those little straps things up and you just attach them like that. And it's actually a skirt. Usually they are shorts or long pants, but this one is a skirt. And those are my straps. My neighbor went to Spain on vacation. Very nice. Or my neighbor recently went to Spain on vacation. I think that sounds better, Sergi. Thank you, Lolly. Thank you so much. Alright guys, I'm going to make a move now. I will see you tomorrow for our weekly listening practice at 11 a.m. GMT +2. That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, that you learned something, or at least that you had a little bit of fun. Thank you so much, and of course, keep on learning. Bye-bye. Take care. So guys, if you are curious and you want to hear me speak French, my native language, make sure to check the video that I released last week on how to pronounce the alphabet.